Oh, it's already recording. Hey everyone, I'm Eric, an American living in Hannover, Germany. Today's a bit sunny. It's a beautiful summer day. It's quite bright. I'm going to try not to squint when I'm talking to you. Yeah, so I've been living in Hannover for a while. Hannover was the very first city in Germany I visited 12 years ago, August 2011. But I get asked a lot, like why Hannover was the first city, why I live in Hannover, how it came to be that Hannover was the first city that I came to visit, because there's so many more popular cities. And Hannover is not known for any sort of tourism or anything like that. But that was coincidence. I made some friends here in Hannover and I came to visit them, and that's what happened. But today I want to specifically talk about tourism in Hannover, because this seems to be a pretty important topic to some people. At the very least, I've been seeing it around. People are talking about this. And to no surprise, Hannover has a problem with low tourism numbers. And I want to share some opinions on that, because just like my old high school basketball coach once said, opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. So, here's mine. Let's go take a look at some first impression areas. Okay? What do people see when they come to Hannover for the first time? The Raschplatz, heading towards Listermeile and the Oststadt. This is one of the two major entry and exit ways into and out of the Hauptbahnhof. They've done well cleaning it up in the time that I've been here around Hannover. However, it remains to be one of the more problematic areas in the city. The central bus station is basically everything that you could imagine a central bus station being like in a city of 500,000 people. Some days it's better than not, but I think people traveling by bus maybe do not care so much. Now, the walk from the bus to the Hauptbahnhof can very often be absolutely disgusting. I hope that they find a way to keep it clean, because the smell of human excrement is not pleasant. And here we have the more common, much more friendly, welcoming side of the Hauptbahnhof. This is the one that I really hope more people get to experience first, as it is far more welcoming. Welcome to Hannover. Before leaving the center, we have to walk past my favorite storm drain. Alright, so I wanted to sit here with the Rathaus behind me, but the light is not good. Do we want to see the Rathaus, or do we want to see me? Just a moment, I'm going to find a spot to sit down. Okay. All right, so I'm sitting facing the Rathaus. Sorry, I can't show you that as a wonderful backdrop, but if you need to see it, good reason to come to Hannover then, right? Right, okay. So, on to my opinion part. I want to tell you something about me and my background and why I feel my opinion should at least be worth listening to. Now, I came to Hannover in August 2011. At the time, I was living in Orlando, Florida. I lived in Orlando for 12 years. Time out. This is such a popular spot for what I'm doing right now. There's someone over here They got a professional camera. It's a couple that looks like they're doing some sort of tourist selfie thing. They've got a very professional camera, like TV crew type thing. I'm a little curious. Anyway, focus, Eric. You guys are my focus. So tourism. So I lived in Orlando, Florida for 12 years. If you know anything about Orlando or Florida, then you get it right off the top. The place is like tourism essentially keeps that place alive. Orlando, like, not even mentioning the beaches. You know, Miami and the beaches, I won't even touch that. But Orlando with Disney World, maybe you've heard of it. Walt Disney, kind of a big deal. Universal Studios, iDrive, International Drive, is like a hotspot for tourism. That's where a lot of the smaller places, lots of it's all restaurants and hotels. That's basically what it is. And so I got to experience some things regarding tourism there. Now, before that, just a little bit before that, I lived in Springfield, Missouri for about a year. And Springfield is near Branson. Branson, Missouri. Look it up. Here, I'll put a little flash.
Welcome to Branson, Missouri, USA, also known as the live entertainment capital of the world. This video will provide 10 reasons why people love Branson.
It's nothing but tourism. It's a little small city built entirely on tourism. I've seen it. I know what that's like. Most of my life was in Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, we've got the Wisconsin Dells, which is a bit like it's the northern equivalent of Branson, Missouri. I would say the Wisconsin Dells are much cooler because of the dells. Like the Wisconsin River goes through there. You can hop on one of these boat rides and take a tour. It's absolutely beautiful. Like, it's natural. It's such a natural beauty. Just look at how awesome this is. I think visiting the Dells for a weekend is a must. If you ever go to Wisconsin, plan a weekend in the Dells. And then they've got like their theme parks and like a tiny little amusement park type thing. The water parks are extremely popular in the Wisconsin Dells. And then for about 10 years, I lived in northern Wisconsin. Again, this is a place entirely reliant on tourism. The camera crew was NDR. They're right behind me. So it was a professional thing. Anyway, northern Wisconsin. It literally has a branded name. Up North. Honestly, I think a lot of German people would love Wisconsin. So if you want to visit, I do recommend it. It is an entire region that, like, to the Midwest, it's basically what Bavaria is to Germany. Think of it something like that. Like, it's a region, it's an entire region that is really based on tourism. Now, it's very natural, small populations, forest, lakes. It's absolutely beautiful. When the winters are nice, snow sports, snowmobiling, skiing, snowshoeing, all of this. It's a very popular spot. The tiny little town that I went to high school in, the population of our town was about 800 people. During peak season, during like summer season peak, and the winter, the population of this town was like 2,000 to 3,000. There were so many vacation cabins and like family resort type stuff. The population tripled. It was crazy. My very first legal job, when I was like 14 years old, I worked on Saturdays at a little private family resort. This place had, don't think hotels. Think you have your own little family cabin and you rent the whole cabin and you stay there for a week. Like, I think it was like 100 acres or something like that. It was massive, maybe more than that, a few hundred acres. Private lake. It owned all of the land around the lake, meaning that they owned the lake. And it was really cool. Really cool atmosphere. And I know firsthand what it's like to live somewhere, to work somewhere, to be surrounded, to rely on tourism as your main base of income. Now with that, like, because I've experienced this up north family cabin getaway thing, I've experienced Branson, Missouri, and Orlando, Florida, with Disney and all that jazz. Leave Hanover the way it is. You do not want this. You do not want the high tourism numbers. You don't want it. Why? Because Hanover has got something absolutely special here. It is not one of the top tourist places in Germany. It is jokingly known as being the most boring city in all of Germany. Yeah, there's a joke there, but there's a flip side to that. In my opinion, it is one of the best places for anyone to live that I have ever lived in. And that's greatly one reason why I love being here. Now, there's always something happening. Like behind me over here, it's the Moshsee Fest. I'm sure, I can't even keep track. Like when the Moshsee Fest ends, I'm sure there's going to be something over, there's going to be another festival happening, or like there's always something. I think there's hardly a week that goes by during the year and there's not something happening. So it's a perfect place to be living and working. You can come visit here. Like if you want something like more relaxed, not so hot, no, not so fast paced, not amusement park type, Disney World type stuff. Like, it's a good spot. There's so much history here. Hanover's got a lot to offer, but don't waste the time. Don't waste the effort. Like, if anything, I think the city needs to focus on what it's got and build on that, which I think it does a good job anyway. But like, instead of trying to bring something new in, clean up what's here. Like I showed you the first impression around the Hauptbahnhof, and most people coming to visit here, their first impression of Hanover is at the Hauptbahnhof. And half the time, like, it needs to be cleaned up a little bit, or a lot. I'm not complaining about the people. I'm complaining about the mess and the condition. Like, it's too often disgusting. I don't even like it. When you arrive on the train, there's 4 exits to walk out of. One of them is typically good. So, yeah, so simply put, Hanover, stay the way you are. You know, keep improving in the little areas. You got so much to offer for the people living here. And the type of community that you have built here, that's way more valuable. I hope you realize how valuable that is in comparison to wanting to bring in tourists. Like it's I think it's hard to find a middle ground in that, because it'll either be not enough where you sit right now, or it'll be too much and everyone's going to regret it. It'll really change the dynamic and the entire face of Hanover. So let's keep Hanover beautiful, because tourists can make things ugly. All right. So enough of that. We got a beautiful summer day here. Enjoy it. So folks, thanks for watching. If you're new here, please subscribe, and we will see you again next time. Bis nächste Mal. Cheers. If you want to get a good idea of life in northern Wisconsin, the up north, they literally made a movie about it in the 80s, a comedy called The Great Outdoors with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. Two families from Chicago, northern Illinois, that go on vacation up north. Like that movie's spot on. I haven't watched it I need to watch it again. It's been like 20 years. But I remember that movie being like spot on as far as how the tourists relate and interact, and how the locals respond and act towards them. It's spot on. The Great Outdoors. Up north Wisconsin in a nutshell. Oh, one more little thing. Sorry, I already put the microphone away, but this is an afterthought. Something that I've thought about a few times is giving tours of Hanover. Part of me would really like this. I think it would be fun. But like, I don't know if, like, how interesting would it be for me to give a tour around Hanover? I don't know if it would, maybe once in a while. But just please leave a comment. Like, imagine you are a tourist in Hanover. Would you like to spend half a day with me and get a personal tour of Hanover from me? Let me know in the comments. Maybe this is something that grows to be real in the future. Branson.